What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Sister Wives Season 5, Episode 3, Seeking Something Real. Let's get into Garrick and Danielle. So remember last week when Garrick and Danielle landed in Mexico, because that is where they planned to meet Natalia, everybody was in a panic because they thought that Natalia and her mother would not be able to board the plane to come over to Mexico from Brazil. There was some type of immigration situation between the two countries. Natalia was unable to get her visa. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. The producers were confused. The Marfields were confused. And so it seemed like it was some type of a crisis happening. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on the websites trying to see exactly why can't Brazil allow them to travel to Mexico. Well, this week, y'all, it's like none of that happened. Natalia and her mom skipped up onto the plane. Now they're in Mexico with the Marfields, and it's like none of that happened. But anyway, so now they have landed in Mexico, and we get a little bit more information on exactly how Natalia's path crossed with the Marfields. Evidently, Garrick was online looking at photos, women, potential new wives, or whatever he was doing online, and he came across Natalia's photos. So evidently he liked them. I think he DM'd her. She responded, and the rest is history. So just by him randomly looking up whatever he was looking up online, he came across her pictures, and now we're here. So the Marfields have rented, I'm assuming, an Airbnb in Mexico. And so when Natalia finally arrives, the first thing that Danielle remarks to us is that she didn't realize how small and petite Natalia was. Like, were you hoping for her to be some obese, overweight, 600-pound woman that would make you feel more secure around your own husband? Like, why would that be the first thing out of your mouth? I would have thought she would have said, oh, she was so beautiful, or she seems so nice, but instead she was like, oh, she's a lot smaller than what I expected. It's going to be okay, Danielle. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work out either, and you're still going to have Garrick to yourself. So they're at the Airbnb. Natalia meets everybody, including the children. And when she changes into something more comfortable, she is wearing this really knockout like red dress, right? It's got like, I can't even describe it because I can't really remember. All I remember that it was red. It was, perfect for the weather. It was like a summertime type of dress. I think it had cutouts on the sides. I'm not sure. And Garrick was smitten. Okay, he even made a comment on how she went from looking like a skater chick when she first arrived to now looking like, lady in red in this red dress. And he definitely approved. So at the Airbnb, Natalia is going to share her room with her mom, and Garrick and Danielle, I'm assuming, are going to have a room to themselves. So then the next day, I think, they go swimming, the whole gang of them, the Marfields, their children, Natalia, her mom. They all decide to go swim in the jungle. So in the middle of the jungle, there's like these waterfalls and like a watering hole or a pool of water, and they're all going to spend the day there swimming, splashing around, having a good time. So the waterfalls are really beautiful. It was a really beautiful scenery. Garrick liked, let me talk about the bikini. So Natalia is in her bikini, right? She changes into her bikini, and Garrick was looking. I mean, he has to. This is going to be possibly a potential wife for him. So he's checking her out, and he also approves of the bikini as well. He likes the blue bikini as much as he liked the red dress. So we're off to a good start. Garrick says that him and Natalia would make gorgeous children. When I talk about how Garrick is like full throttle, he's going 100 miles a minute trying to get these relationships going. He was just like this with Natalia. He was just like this with Roberta. He wanted to speed up everything. He's like this with Natalia. He's already talking about proposing to her. He's already envisioning what their children will look like. He's already envisioning what their children. He cannot wait to get him some Natalia. Natalia is feeling, she said, okay, so Natalia also herself is attracted to Garrick. She's feeling him too, because in this swimming area, he had on his swimming trunks and no shirt. So she was checking him out as much as he was checking her out. She said that she liked his physique, and she also liked his eyes. Natalie didn't want to swim with them. So in the watering hole that they were all swimming in, for whatever reason, Natalia did not want to go in it. And I didn't understand why. If it was explained, I missed it. But yeah, she didn't want to go into the watering hole for some reason. And I don't know if she was afraid or what. And because she didn't want to join everybody else swimming, Danielle saw this as a negative thing. She saw this as Natalia trying to not bond with the whole entire family. She kind of saw this as Natalia being kind of standoffish. I didn't really see it that way. I was just like, maybe she just didn't feel like swimming for whatever reason. She was afraid to swim. I don't know if she knew how to swim in deep waters. So I don't know what the situation was, but I didn't see it as her being purposely standoffish and not trying to bond with the family. So Danielle says that this kind of ruined their moment because I guess when she didn't want to swim with them, she had nothing else to do. So everybody else felt obligated to turn around and go back home. So Danielle says that not bonding with her specifically, because when they were showing that scene of Danielle trying to encourage Natalia to come into the water, Danielle was like really trying to get her to come into the water. Everybody else was doing their own damn thing. Nobody was worried about Natalia. Everybody else was having fun, splashing around. But Danielle was like, no, come on, come on, come on. Like she was really trying to force this woman into the water with her. So then Danielle says, after all of this, she says that Natalia is not making an effort to bond with her the way that Roberta did. All because of this one incident of her not wanting to get into the water with everybody else. And I'm like, Danielle, you're putting 20 on 10. Maybe she gets the vibes that Natalia is not wanting to bond with her, or Natalia is not really being drawn to her like the way Roberta was. I don't know, but Danielle is picking up on something. But leave that girl alone. If she doesn't want to go in the water, just leave her alone. Natalia does apologize afterwards. So when they go back to the Airbnb and they're all sitting around, she does say that she is sorry that she did not join them in the water. So she was very apologetic about it. And as she was saying this, because I think all three of them were sitting like in the living room area, really close to each other. So as she's apologizing about not swimming, Garrick was like caressing her shoulder, and then he was touching her thigh. You know what I'm saying? So he was in between the two women, and he was like, you know, he's getting really touchy-feely with her, y'all. I don't know if they're going to be able to leave Mexico without consummating this relationship. Garrick and Natalia, they say goodnight to one another. First, it was Danielle and Natalia saying goodnight, and then Garrick was saying goodnight to Natalia. And it was a very lingering goodnight. Okay, it was a very lingering goodnight. I felt like if Danielle was not there, I felt like Garrick and Natalia would have been going into the same bedroom that night. So Natalia tells us that she is already falling for Garrick. Now, I don't put too much trust in Natalia's feelings, because Natalia might have ulterior motives as far as why she wants to do this polygamy thing where she doesn't come from a polygamous family or a polygamous history. I don't know why anybody would want to jump into something like this, but I don't trust her feelings when she talks about how attracted she is to Garrick and how she feels like she's falling in love. I think she's just, playing the role, but I do believe that Garrick is, he's having some strong feelings or connections with Natalia. So Danielle, sweetheart, get ready. Moving on from there, let's talk about the Davis family, which is Nick, Jennifer, April, and Danielle. So Danielle did move out of the home because she wanted to figure things out. Danielle was set against adding a fourth wife. She wanted it to remain just the four of them, Nick and his three wives. She did not want to add another wife. Nobody really knows exactly why. I have my own theory of why she doesn't want to add another wife. I feel like in this dynamic, in this family dynamic, Danielle is getting lost. I think that Danielle feels like maybe like the fourth wheel in this throuple with Nick, April, and Jennifer. And I think that she feels like she's going to get more lost by adding another wife. That's my personal opinion. Or maybe she doesn't want to legally marry a woman. I don't know what her issue is, but she moved out. She wanted to figure things out on her own. The Davis family acts like they were really bothered by her leaving. I don't think that their sadness of her leaving, I don't think it was really genuine. I think deep down inside, they're probably, the women, I think, probably were actually kind of relieved. Nick probably did feel kind of bummed out that he was losing a wife. Maybe it did something to his ego. But as far as Jennifer and April, I really, truly do not think that they cared that much. Unless it was because the loss of that third income, because Nick doesn't work, unless it was because of the loss of that third income and another set of hands gone, that's not going to be there to help out around the house. Maybe they were genuinely upset about that. So she's in her car driving Lord knows where, and the producers are with her, and the producer asked her if she said bye to Vera, the baby. And I thought that was kind of like a loaded question, and she didn't say bye to Vera because she was just trying to get out as quietly as possible. She didn't want to make a scene. She didn't want to make a big deal about it, like everybody confronting her, interrogating her, asking her, what's wrong? Why are you doing this? Oh my God. So she just wanted to leave as quietly as possible. She did not want any confrontation. And so they were like, well, did you say bye to Vera? As if they're trying to imply like there's something morally wrong with her for not saying bye to the baby, who probably can't tell one mother from the other. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't think she was like purposely being mean by not saying bye to the baby. She was just trying to make a very easy exit. So then Danielle says no, she didn't say goodbye to the baby, but she also did not say goodbye to Jen or April because she says then it would have made it real. Her leaving would have made it real. So she doesn't want to feel like her leaving is real, is like her new reality. But you already got an apartment. You already signed a lease, didn't you? It's real. I think once you signed that lease and put down that damn deposit, it should have felt real then. She says that she really didn't want to break up with them, but she needed to be away to figure things out, and that she is willing to have a conversation with them. So then the next time that we see them, Danielle is in the kitchen. She's back at the house with everybody else, and they're all making dinner together. And they said that she moved back in. Okay, what about your apartment? Like, what's going on? What about your apartment? Did you break the lease? Did she move back in, or did she just come back to talk and explain why she left? I think they said she had moved back in with them. So what brought her back, she said, was the love that she has for all of them, but that it still felt really awkward to be back in the house. I can imagine. What happened to your apartment, Danielle? Did you just break the lease, or did a lot of time go by? And the way that it was edited, it looks like it was a quick turnaround. You were in, you were out, then you're back in. Or did you expire your lease? Did you live there for 6 months or something and now you're back? What is going on? Nick says that they love Danielle very much and losing her was very painful for them. But now they're going to keep their good eye on her because now they know that she runs away from problems. When she's not happy about something, she runs. So they're going to keep a very good eye on her and they're going to be super cautious with her now. They're all having dinner outside because I think they had grilled. So they're all having dinner outside and Nick brings up her leaving. And he says, you ran away because we are still trying to grow this family. So where do you stand on that now? And Danielle says, and honestly speaking, she is not good with that at all. She spoke her true feelings. And then she gets back up and she disappears back into the house. And that's where their segment ended. Okay, girl, if you're still not good with them growing this family by adding more wives, why did you come back? That's the plan. All of them are in agreement except for you. That's not up for discussion. It's not up for negotiation. You're not going to convince these 3 other adults to not go through with what they've all decided to go through with. So why did you come back, Danielle? I'm very confused. I don't know. Moving on to the Ryan family. This is Becky and Justin. This is the one where Becky, the wife, is pregnant, 6 months pregnant. They also have a toddler son, and she herself is looking for an additional wife. It's her wanting the wife, not her husband, Justin. So we get more of their history on how No, that's not them. Sorry, that's not Becky and Justin. Becky and Justin is our new couple. No, no, no. The couple that I'm really referring to, I'm sorry, y'all, it's the Sherwoods, Ashley and Shane. This is the couple where Ashley, the wife, is 6 months pregnant and they have a toddler son, and she's bisexual and she's the one wanting the additional wife, not her husband, Shane. And so, when we see their segment, it starts off with Shane having one of his female friends come over to the house, and they're having a conversation. And he's telling his friend about what went down between his wife, Ashley, and her girlfriend, Grace. And he's telling the friend that he did not care for Grace, that Grace initially did not want to meet him. Ashley had to convince her to meet him. And when they did meet, Grace was really rude to him. She really wasn't warming up to him. And he felt like that Grace was trying to pull Ashley away from him. So he paints this picture making Grace look really, really bad. And of course, the friend is very sympathetic towards Shane. And he completely leaves out how rude he was to Grace by belittling and disrespecting her profession. Whatever the hell it is. It could have been basket weaving. It could have been husking corn. Whatever the hell she decided to do for a living, he poo-pooed all over it. He didn't tell his friend about that, how he was acting bad towards Grace. He left all of that out. He was just a poor innocent victim who was being mistreated by Ashley's, big bad girlfriend. So he's explaining the dynamic to the friend and says that this is where I got confused again, y'all, because Shane tells the friend that when Ashley finds a girlfriend, Ashley and the girlfriend are going to have a romantic connection, but him and the girlfriend are going to have a platonic connection, which confused me because I thought that the first time that we saw this couple, that the girlfriend was expected to have a baby with Shane. So how can they be completely platonic if they're supposed to conceive a child, unless they're going to go through IVF or something like that? And if you're going to go through all the troubles and rigmarole of IVF, then why even do it at all? When, it seems like Ashley is more than willing to have babies. I don't get it. So when he says me and the girlfriend are not going to have a romantic connection, I was all kinds of confused because I thought they were going to have a baby together. So Shane says, okay, so Shane he talks about the fiasco with Grace and how that didn't work out, and how he spent that. He says that if he does not like the girlfriend that Ashley finds, then it's not going to work out, period. It doesn't matter how Ashley feels about her. If he doesn't approve, it's over. The next time that we see them, they're laying in bed together, like winding down for the night. And Ashley tells us that she's decided that Grace will not be a good choice for her. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that your husband hated her. So I felt like Shane completely sabotaged her relationship with Grace. I think he completely sabotaged it. I think he purposely was, talking down about her profession because he felt like Grace was unattracted to him. And so it's like, well, if he couldn't partake with Grace, he didn't want Ashley to partake with Grace. And I think that's why he started up that whole, what do you do for a living? And that doesn't make any sense to me. You're not a real psychiatrist or psychologist or a real therapist or a real whatever he said. I think it was all on purpose because he wanted to create that wedge between his wife and Grace. So Ashley says that Shane's opinions really matter to her, and Shane encourages her to call Grace or to contact Grace and make it official and to officially break up. And you would think that, well, I guess not. He wanted to be right there because, this is, her husband, and whoever they're going to add to their marriage is going to also have to deal with Shane as well. But I thought he would have given her some privacy, but it didn't really matter because it wasn't by phone. She ends up sending a breakup text to Grace. What? Okay, that shows how much Grace really meant to Ashley. So she sends her a breakup text that Shane helps her compose. And she sends it off to Grace. And while she was typing the text, he was like really micromanaging her. He was telling her like what to type, how to say it, what to say. And he was even going to tell her, okay, you can send it now. But then she tells him, I already did. I already hit send. So she breaks up with her through text, And then he has to tell Ashley, oh, look at your phone. She's responded already. Like, that's how razor focused he was in all of this, and how involved he was in Ashley's breakup with Grace. So he has to tell Ashley, look at your phone. She responded to you already, because he wanted to know what she said. And Grace just said, because, initially Ashley tells Grace, oh, it's not going to work out, blah, blah, blah. I just don't, whatever. And then Grace responds, and she was really polite. And she was like, well, thank you for notifying me, letting me know. And I wish you all the best. And it was really short and sweet. But Shane is turning out to be kind of like a jerk. I'm beginning to really not like Shane. He's very micromanaging. He's very controlling. I am shocked and surprised that he is allowing his wife, and I am using the word allowing because he seems like that kind of husband, that he is allowing his wife to have a girlfriend. And then the first girlfriend, I don't know if this is the first girlfriend that she's ever had while she's been married to him, he sabotages it. Like, he wants to make her think, oh, I'm down, I'm with it, happy wife, happy life. If you want a girlfriend, I'm cool with it. But I'm wondering if every girlfriend that she meets, he's going to sabotage that relationship. So, yeah, I am not feeling your boy, Shane, whatsoever. Now let's get into the new couple, the Ryan family, Becky and Justin. So they're from Salina, Texas. They grew up together. There's I think a 3 or 4 year age gap between them. He's older than her. Even though she was younger than him, she's the one that heavily pursued him. So it got to the point where I guess, he allowed himself to get caught by a 16-year-old when he was 19, and they got married when she was 16 and he was 19. And I know this is allowed when the parents give permission for their minor child. You can get married at the age of 16. So I think that's how it goes, because I don't think in Texas you are legally an adult at 16. So I think she had to have permission from her parents to get married at 16. So she comes from a polygamous family. So she's into polygamy and she's okay with it. And the two of them have 6 kids together. They already have a potential sister wife, but this particular sister wife, who goes by the name of Stephanie, we don't see her, but we do see pictures of her, but her face is blurred out. So they do have a potential sister wife that they have, grown attached to. They're close to her. They've bonded with her. But this sister wife, Stephanie, is wishy-washy about whether or not she wants to be in a polygamous lifestyle. She's so worried about what everybody else thinks of her decision to be with them. So she's letting that kind of control her. So they like her. They want her to be officially a part of the family, but she's really, she's getting cold feet now. So now they're looking for another potential. They said that they want somebody just like Stephanie, but who doesn't have the fear and the anxiety that Stephanie has about polygamy. So they go out on the prowl to meet, hopefully, a new potential sister wife. And they go to this restaurant/bar type place. And Justin is extremely nervous. He says that it's weird for him to be out there picking up women while he's been married to Becky for 25 years. So Becky is the one that picks up the women for him. So they're at the bar of this restaurant. They're sitting at the bar, and she spots a potential, and she walks up to her and she's like, hi, my name is Becky. Do you want to date my husband? Just like that, in this really shy little girl demeanor. And the woman looks at her, a very pretty woman, looks at her, and she's like, what? And she's like, my husband's right over there. And then I was like, what is going on here? And so then she explains that they're a polygamous family and they're looking for a potential sister wife or whatever. And I thought the lady was initially turning her down and said something like, well, I've been married and divorced and I have 2 kids and I don't want to share. She said she didn't want to share. Okay. And next thing you know, Justin comes over because, Becky brings him over. She's like, do you want to come meet your... And she said it to me. I thought it was kind of aggressive because he was just sitting at the bar because he's really shy about all of this. So she walks up to her husband. She's like, do you have your business card with you? Because first, when she was with the lady, hi, do you want to date? And then when she goes back to Justin, do you have your business card with you? And so he pulls out his business card with all of his contact information. And then Becky's like, don't you want to go over there and meet her? I might be exaggerating, but that's the gist that I got from this. Well, don't you want to go meet your future wife or your potential wife or whatever? So he gets up, he walks over to her and he's really shy and nervous and really awkward. And I think when she saw him, she saw something about him that she liked, because all of a sudden now her mind is open to polygamy. Okay. This potential woman, what is her name? Desiree was her name. So he comes over and she says that she's interested in learning about polygamy. And she says to us, she tells us that when she saw Justin, she thought he was really dapper. Like, I didn't understand what that meant. I know what dapper means, but I didn't know what she meant in this context. Like, do you find him attractive or don't you? She goes, well, I thought he was really dapper. And she said that she said that she thought that Becky was so sweet. So Justin asked her, so what are you doing tomorrow after the small talk is over with? They did have, like a really small, short conversation, which wasn't that interesting to me. So after all that was said and done, Justin said, so what are you doing tomorrow? And she's like, well, how did she say it? She was like, well, actually, I thought she was going to say, I'm booked and busy. But no, she was like, actually, I'm free. So they're going to meet up with her the next day, I think. I don't know what's going on, y'all. She was sitting there with her friend. Her friend was just like, I just need this floor to open up and swallow me whole so I can get the hell away from this crazy situation. Her friend was really uncomfortable, and Justin was trying to engage the friend as well into their conversation, because the friend talked with an accent, and Justin was like, oh yeah, I detect an accent. Where are you from? And the lady said she was from Estonia. So, but the lady wasn't trying to be a part of any of that. She's like, y'all are not going to recruit me, traffic me. I want no parts of this at all. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that Desiree was really that interested. I think she's just trying to be polite. I seriously doubt that this is how it's going to work out for the Ryan family. I seriously doubt it, but we shall definitely see. Anyway, that's where it all ended. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.